also are my next guests. These are local realtors. We've got Yumi in the house and Manuel. Hello there, Yumi,
Hello.
right? Good to meet you.
Yes, nice to meet you.
Manuel, good to meet you. Thank you for coming, you two. So now, tell me what company you guys are representing today.
Okay, so my name is Yumi Kimura. I'm actually with Cal Prime Realty in Madera.
Okay.
I do real estate all over the Central Valley. So I've done real estate in Madera, Fresno, Clovis, sometimes Kerman, different areas. But I do have access to all homes in California. Technically, we are both with different companies. So a lot of people come to me and they ask, what do I need to get? What do I need to do to get pre-qualified? So that's why I wanted to bring Manuel with me, because that way he can talk about the products that they offer to qualify the customer. So a lot of the times I go and take my buyer, or if it's not Manuel, if it's another officer that I have a good relationship with, I'll send them to a local lender. I like to use local because it's a lot easier for the customer to have that one-on-one feel with them. But I do send them to Manuel sometimes, and then we interact with them and see what they need. They get them pre-qualified, and then send them back to me. Then I go out and show them homes and see what's out there. There is a huge shortage in real estate right now.
Still?
So, yes, actually, a lot of the houses are going really quick right now. So it's kind of hard to find something that's going to stay on the market for so long. So a lot of the houses are selling within less than 30 days. So it is a good time to sell. So if you do have a house you want to sell right now, it's a really good opportunity because the prices are pretty stable.
So this is a seller's market?
It is a seller's market right now, I believe. I think that as far as selling, it's a good opportunity because a lot of people do have equity in their homes. If they just want to get out, and even if they want to upgrade into a different, like a nicer, bigger home, they can do that as well. We have a lot of sellers that are selling to move somewhere else, or it depends. So I would work with them to sell, or even buyers. So to buy, it's also a good time, just because they do have some good products right now, and that's why Manuel's here to talk about that.
Yeah, we're in August now.
Yeah.
It's hot. It's summertime.
It is, yes.
But sometimes during the summer, that's when people are moving.
Correct. So it's the busiest time. Our busiest time is pretty much when kids are out on vacation.
Yeah.
So we have been pretty busy, but the thing about it is now that the kids go back to school, we still have a shortage. So we still kind of stay busy until probably about December, Christmas time around there. That's when it kind of slows down a little bit. But I think I pretty much stay stable throughout the year.
Extremely active.
Extremely active, very busy. So what is it like working together?
Well, you know what? It's a pleasure. The bottom line, I have the privilege of working with a lot of different agents, and I do have preferential agents, and the simple reason is because I look for a certain quality in a real estate agent that, one, they're professional, they're going to take care of their clients, and have the client's best interests at heart. Those are the ideal candidates that I like to work with, and Yumi checks all those boxes. And so we go back we have some history too. We're friends, and close, small community in Madera. So. I feel that she does a phenomenal job. That's really when she asked me, I didn't think twice about to come to the show.
Well, good. And speaking of Madera, I used to live in Madera, and Madera is definitely different than Fresno.
Correct.
Than Clovis.
Absolutely.
Very different.
But there are some really beautiful. A lot of people say, "Oh, Madera," But I liked Madera when I was there.
Right.
There are some
actually,
nice
we do
spots.
have a very nice area in Madera. The west side of Madera, that's usually where everybody wants to stay, or in the ranchos. But, there's a lot of new construction, so it's it depends where you're at. It could be like Fresno, you go the next street over and you're in the bad side all of a sudden. So, like I said, Madera is not, it's small, but it's growing as well. I think there's a lot of opportunity there.
So the ranchos, now the ranchos is beautiful.
And
a lot of land, and it's booming.
Yes.
They've got that new development off Avenue 12 and 41. That looks really nice.
It looks those homes are very, very nice. And they're just going to start building, and that's not the only builder that's out there. There's other builders that are actually starting to build in our area.
So Madera County.
Madera County in general, yes. We have I want to say I know about 2 or 3 builders that we're working on, and we also have private builders that are building right now that are investors that have owned this land for so long, and now they're starting to build houses. I have a few private builders that actually we have listings with. So if anybody's ever interested in a new home, I can definitely help them out with that as well.
We've got just a few seconds left. How can people get in contact with you? And you, we'll start with you.
Well, if anybody ever wants to get a hold of me, my phone number is 559-871-0560, and you can also email me at ykimura@calprime.net, and I'm on Facebook, Yumi Kimura Realtor, and
yes, to get a hold of myself, you can either call me directly on my cell phone, which is what I prefer, 559-479-0576, or you can email me at manuel.navarez@fairwaymc.com, or you can go to my actual website, which is www.manuelnavarez.com, if you want to poke around and see what's available and some of the products that we offer and whatnot.
Very good. You two, thank you so much.
Thank
Good
you.
to meet you. Thank you. Good to meet you as well.
Likewise.
Thanks for coming on My Conversation. And thank you for joining us, everybody. We'll be back with more right after this. Stay with us. Hey, My Conversation continues right here on KAIL-TV. Austin Reed alongside. I've got local realtor experts with me today. Give them a round of applause. Hey, so Manuel?
Yes, Manuel.
Manuel, I'm saying that right? Okay. And Yumi, right? I said that right?
Yes.
Okay, very good. We have a few more minutes to talk real estate, so I wanted to bring them back. Let's get into the lending side and give our viewers some more information about how you two work together and how you found each other and kind of.
Very good question.
Go on.
So we get a lot of calls where people, they just want to know where to start. Everybody has the aspiration to sooner or later become a homeowner. So one of the things is they start asking around all kinds of questions, and for the most part, what I would recommend and what I do recommend for most people is usually if a real estate agent like Yumi, that's a professional herself, before she starts showing people a lot of houses and get them excited, she wants to make sure that they're actually able to buy it. For the simple reason, you don't want to get somebody super excited about a property and all of a sudden they lose it, or they're barely getting started on their loan process. They fall in love with the house, and by the time they're getting pre-approved, the house is sold. So the correct way to do it is get your financing in place first.
Right.
Once you get your financing in place, you're just that much of a stronger buyer. You can go out there. Your offers are going to be looked at with way more. They're going to just be higher on the totem pole when it comes to the multiple offer situations that we're in right now.
So have you seen that a lot?
yes, actually, it's very important to be pre-approved before you go out and look at homes, because you're not really wasting the agent's time.
That too,
a lot of
yeah.
agents don't like to really tell their customers sometimes, you're wasting my time. But
Right, because you don't want to drive them away.
Right. So we try to keep them happy, and I'm the type of agent that I'll go for bat, for my clients. But I always look for the right lender, the right person that's going to help them, and whoever fits well with my customers. So Manuel has helped me a lot with getting my customers pre-qualified when other lenders haven't been able to. So and he's very, if they don't qualify at the time, he will tell them, you'll qualify in 3 months, come back, we'll let you know. And we just kind of keep in touch with those customers. So that's why it's really good to have that type of relationship with your lender and your agent. So I have worked with other lenders as well, but Manuel is kind of like my go-to person for everything, because he's quick and he answers his phone, and he's really responsive, and I love the communication that we do have. So
Well, it's important to have that communication and to have for your customers, for them to know that you have a lender that's standing by.
Right. Yeah, and I mean, the customer is what's that's your bread and butter right there. So you have to make sure you're taking care of them, and you have to make sure you're doing what's best for your customer. So I have not had any complaints about Manuel's performance or his lending. So I actually, thank God, we've been doing really well, and hopefully we continue on and doing well. So
Here's a question for you.
Sure.
Does credit play, is that the most important part?
It's one of the most important factors, but it's not the only factor.
Okay.
Typically when people come in and I explain the brief overview of what they're looking at, I always try to simplify the process, because a lot of times people come in and they feel overwhelmed. They hear all these stories and whatnot. And the truth of the matter, it's really not that complicated. As a lender, we're going to look at three basic things. We're going to look at your credit. So between your credit and your credit score, that helps us determine your interest rate and is one of the major factors that determines what programs you qualify, if you qualify for any at the moment. Second thing we're going to look at is we're going to look at your debt that normally pops up on your credit report. And finally, we're going to look at your income.
Real quick.
Sure.
Medical debt. Do companies hold that against people?
It depends on the loan program. A lot of the government loans like FHA, they really, if it's a medical collection to that extent, it's really, they don't even take, it's a non-issue.
Okay.
But it does impact your credit score. So we won't make you pay it off or whatnot, but nevertheless that it's good to try to not go into collections. What saddens me, sometimes you get a client that comes in and they have medical collections to the tune of $45, $50, where, I mean, that drops you 60 points, you know, on your credit score or something to that effect.
200?
Minimal stuff will drop your score big time. People don't understand that, you know.
Dang.
So it's better to, you know, and people say, well, my insurance
I know
will
who
cover
I'm calling after the show.
And I appreciate that. And the truth of the matter is, my whole goal is to give you a full-blown pre-approval. Because a lot of people say that they pre-approve you, but it's really a pre-qualification
Right.
where they get minimal information, and based off of the minimal information, they feel they can get you a loan. 90 to 95% of the time that works, but then there's that exception where they didn't go through the whole process, and all of a sudden the deal's blown up at the end and people are upset, and it's just all bad. So we try to prevent that by crossing all the, you know, all the T's and dotting all the I's.
Yeah. And Manuel gets those deals closed earlier than later. So a lot of the times our other agents are like, well, we're not supposed to close until 2 weeks from now. You know, well, no, we're closing today. So
Sweet.
that's actually a
Our goal
plus.
is to try to get it done as soon as possible because
It makes the customer happy.
Absolutely.
It makes the buyer happy.
I'd rather have it
Or
that way
seller.
where they're telling us to hold on a little bit than them bugging us to, hey, when are you going to get this done?
Okay, I'm getting the wrap-up side now. We got to go to break real quick, though. How can people get in touch with you? Phone number?
Yes, again, so my phone number is 559-871-0560.
And then you?
559-479-0576 and www.manuelnavarez.com.
With Fairway Independent Mortgage, and of course you're with Cal Prime Realty.
Correct.
Absolutely.
Thank you two for
Thank
sticking
you.
Thank you
around.
for
We
having us.
appreciate it. Give them another round of applause.
Thank you.
We're going to have a final word right after this. Stay with us.